Well, good morning and good night, everybody. And I would like to express my warm welcome to all of you for attending this webinar. And my name is Michael Peterson, the Senior Consultant from Sears Medical Device Team. And it is a very pleasure to give this presentation on the China Medical Device Regulatory Yearly Report of 2015. During the webinar, if anyone has some emergency and has to leave, you can contact me to export this presentation later. Or actually, I have attached this presentation on the Hangouts panel. You can download it on your Hangout panel. I hope you can find it and to try to download it. Also, for any questions raised in the webinar, you can leave your message in the dashboard or you can send an email to us. We will respond to you as soon as possible after the webinar. Okay, here we go, start off our webinar. And first, we just have a look of this photograph. And this is a medical device regulatory management system, and we divided the system into different aspects, like the testing and clinical registration, manufacturing, distribution, use, advertisement, import and export, adverse events and records, naming and classification and standards. Okay, before we start the webinar, we just have a very quick look of this picture, because from this picture, I am going to tell you what we would like to talk today and what what's going to happen in the 2015 in China. Okay, from the testing and clinical, we have four very important changes in 2015. One is the measures for qualification determination of medical device testing center. For this one is to tell the safety experts and the professors to how to determine the qualification of a testing center. Because in China now we just have 26 test center who is able to provide the testing service for the domestic companies and for the overseas companies. The second is administration measures for medical device testing. And the third one is very important one is technical guidance for medical device clinical trial evaluation. And it's unfortunately we can offer this English version of this guidance for free. So if you any one of you is interested in this guidance, you can send an email to us and to ask for it. So four is the recording measures for medical device clinical trial. And go to the standards in 2015, the CFDA issued the total 9 industrial standards of medical device. And for the naming and CFDA released 4 times classification results and including total 474 products classification results, and also released the classification rules for med device and the naming rules for med device. And also for release the administrative measures for adverse events monitoring and re-evaluation for med device is a draft version. And a records announcement of 2015. And this one also is very important. It's a free sales certificate. And just before the 2015, and other trans companies to sell their products out of China, and they don't need to apply such a free sales certificate. But now they have to do it because it is required by CFDA now. And for the advertisement, actually, there's not very, I mean, the specific laws. It's very general advertising law of People's Republic of China, and this law just adds the principle for all the goods those were sold in China. And we also the CFDA issued the administrative measures for use, quality supervision of medical device. And this is for the other regulation for the distributors in China. And this is for manufacturing in China. And also we got a very, very important it's a very breaking news in 2015. It's a flight inspection measures of med device. Because it starts from the middle of the June, of 2015, and just before that time, and simply never to implement such a flight inspection for the register medical device. But now they did it. They did it, and also in the near future, maybe in the 2016 and 2017, and the flight inspection will be more and more usual because this activity is to strengthen the supervision of the CFDA. Also, for the registration, here is go a very important things is the debut of the online registration system of medical device. And this one, I think the CFDA is going to just learn from the FDA, and I think CFDA is going to put more the online system because this one is only for the Class 1 med device. So for Class 2 and Class 3 med device, you can not to apply for the registration online now, and I think it will be open in the near future. Okay, we will talk about 4 parts in this webinar, and one is to share various data of China med device of 2015. I think this part will be very interesting, and most of them would like to know what is the data to be shared. And the second part is the close rating of some important medical device regulations in 2015. And the third one is breaking news study of China medical device of 2015. And the fourth, just let's look at what will be the focus of 2016. Okay, we go to the data study of China medical device of 2015. And we will talk from the classification results, registration approval, and approved data of innovative med device, manufacturing and distributor data, and the med device adverse events data, standards insurance, and guidance insurance. Pardon me. And here we see the classification results. And during 2015, CFDA released 4 times classification results, and including total 474 healthcare products. We before they are classified, we only can call them healthcare products because they may be classified into the cosmetics, or maybe into the drugs, or maybe into foods, or something else. And we can see this data is we got this data from the CFDA website because we keep our eyes on the CFDA website every day, and we know what CFDA did every day. So we just collect them once by once and to share them here. And the first result was issued on the end of the March of and for this time totally 153 products were classified and to be released, and such as the breast photographing stereotactic device, and it's a CFDA device office number 49 decree. And the second one was be released on the middle of the May, and this time it includes 172 products, and one of them is artificial vascular ring. Just for here, we only can give give me one of them, the name of them here, because we cannot to share all of the what is the classification results here. If you are interested in the classification results, you can check it on by Baidu or Google, and you can find them just to find according to their data and according to their phone number, and you can find the detailed classification results, and you can see what has products be classified. And the third one, we only released 22 products, and the fourth they released 127 products. And after the Jew and self never released more classification results in 2015. And interesting, we also have the submitted 8 classification application to CFDA after the Jew, so they are still under the classification. It is supposed that the earliest classification result will be released at the end of the March in 2016. And people may concern how the self-data to do on the classification, and usually they collect the different application from the domestic or from the overseas, and maybe it according to the number. If self-data collect 100 or more than 100 applications, then they will organize a expert panel, and the expert panel will just sit down together and talk about to discuss and decide what is the classification of these healthcare products. And just like for system, they only got we saw they only got a very few applications. So and but they have to do it because maybe like the time or maybe like the schedule of the experts panel. Here we just to classify the 474 health products into different classification, and among them there are 206 Class 1 med device and 149 Class 2 med device, 29 Class 3 med device, and 6 to non-med device, and 15 case-by-case products. So what is a case-by-case products? It's very interesting. Since I just take one, for example, like the medical laser equipment. If the laser intensity of device is 3R or below 3R, then it will be supervised as Class 2 med device. Otherwise, if the laser intensity is above 3R, then it will be classified as Class 3 med device. And the med device listed in the med device catalog, such as semiconductor laser power system, laser melting fan analyzer, oral cavity scanner, oral cavity 3D beacon, and electric laser apparatus. They are all classified as Class 2 med device because usually their laser intensity is below 3R. So the case-by-case product depends on what the specific specification of that product is. Also, according to the data issued by China Med Device Association, this association is one of the most famous association in China regarding of the med device. And during 2015, CFD had received up to 1,309 general applications for product classification, and this number grows 6 times compared to that of 2014. So we can see because the 2014 is the gap between the old regulations and the new regulations. So after the new regulations, I think more and more products and more companies, they would like to just to put their novel med device into their China, and so most of them have to be classified between they start to do the registration. And usually the classification application is comes more from the overseas companies than the domestic companies. And for domestic companies, they generally do the very traditional med device, but med device from the overseas company usually be novel and very new. So that's the reason why it grows so much compared to the 2014. CFD also reviewed 450 Class 1 med device reported from different cities of China. For the domestic med device, and it's their cities FDA rather than the CFD who will just to decide the classification. So and the CFD will to collect the results from the different cities FDA of the China, and to just determine whether the classification is proper. So as we can see, among the 4,000 products, and 375 products are classified as non-med device, and the 250 are classified into the just to be raised its classification level, and 9 are even classified as Class 3 medical device. So the recognized level between the city's FDA and the CFDA is quite different. Also, CFDA reformed the old classification catalog and integrated 43 subdirectory into the 22 subdirectory and added production description intended purpose to improve the guidance. Here is the registration approved data. And during 2015, China total approved 27,000 registration approval, and among which we got the 11,000 Class 1 and the 7,000 Class 2, and this is for the renew, and the 716 registration of Class 3 med device, and the 1,600 registration from the import registration, and also from Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, the import registration number is 100. So we have a compare table here to see what is the registration approved data experienced the change from the 2012 to 2015. All the data were collected from the CFDA registration summer of 2012 and to 2015. And from the table, obviously, we can see the registration for Class 1 and Class 2. It's grows a lot, and we can see it's very like the Class 1. It grows from the 7,000 to 11,000, so grows like the 40%, and for Class 2, and grows from 3,000 to 4,500, and to be in the contrast, for the Class 3 and import registration, also for the Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan registration, the number decreased dramatically. It's very just very amazing, because we can see from in the 2014 we also got the 4,200 registration from the overseas company, but in 2015 there's only 1,500 registration. So the reason why the decrease so great, we thought maybe 3 reasons. So one reason is the the from just after the 2014 is a gap between the old regulations and the new regulations. Overseas companies maybe feel very unfamiliar with the new regulations, and they don't know a lot about the new regulation, because the new regulation is much more complicated than the old regulations. So overseas companies maybe just to be a kind of fear of the new regulations. They want to wait to see more changes to the new regulations. And the second reason maybe the CFD administration fee, because from the May 27, 2015, and the CFD started to charge this CFD administration fee, and the fee is kind of expensive. So also maybe make a lot of the overseas companies to be waiting for registration. The last reason also maybe the clinical trial, because before the 2014, just in the old regulations, the CFD I said in the old regulations, the SFDA admins the clinical trial report of from the overseas companies can be accepted in China, but the new regulations, CFDA don't accept the clinical trial report from the overseas companies. So it requires overseas companies have to redo their clinical trial in China, and it will cost a lot and take a lot of time. So this will also to decrease the registration from the overseas companies. And the proof date of innovative medical device. I think you must know the innovative med device is a very useful regulations to help the novel med device to can be enter the market much earlier than the traditional med device, and they can apply for the special review registration procedure, and it can at least save half a year. Also can save maybe 20 $100 like that. And in 2015, safety received total 300 applications and completed reviewing 249 applications, approved only 44 products to be qualified for the special registration procedure. And interesting, we just to analyze these 44 products, and we got the four types of med device could be more probably to be approved by the innovative med device. They are absorbable med device and gene detection and artificial eye tissues and cardiovascular device. So if your products maybe belong to one of them, maybe you thought your products very novel and very new and with a high technical, so you can try this special registration. And the manufacturing and distribution data. Up to the end of November 2015, there were total 14,000 manufacturers, and those are dealing with med device in China, and among which 12,000 were doing the med device Class 1, and 9,500 were doing the Class 2, and 2,600 were doing the Class 3. And so it have the point that this number plus this number plus this number not equals to this number, because some companies will not only do the one type of med device. For example, some companies may doing their Class 3 med device, and at the same time they will do their Class 2 med device. So also the distributor, and there were total probably a lot is 180,000 distributors. Sorry, it should be the distributors, and selling a med device, among which 125,000 were selling Class 2 device, and 121,000 were selling Class 3 device. And in China, the distributors who is selling the Class 1 med device don't need to apply for the distribution license. So the number who sells the Class 1 med device cannot be collected from the safety. And here's the developing history of manufacturing and distributors. We can see from the 2012 to 2015, the number for average manufacturers and distributors is very stable. For the manufacturers, it's around the 15,500, and for the distributors, it's around the 180,000 distributors. So it's very stable, and it may be the market is to a full capability, and also the market is experiencing very stable condition, and to be into a healthy developing condition. And here we can see for the manufacturing, and also it's very stable number. I mean, for the Class 1 from 2012 to 2015, and the manufacturers dealing with Class 1, it just grows by 25% percentage, and for Class 2 just grows by 10 percentage, and for Class 3 it's very stable. And based on the data collected from safety website continually, safety had punished 10,000 adverse events of med device in 2015, involving with total 28 million goods value and 13 million penalty, confiscated money by the 3 million and banned 145 distributors without med device distribution license and smashed 19 manufacturers who produced fakes, and asked 510 distributors to close for organization and withdraw 18 registration licenses and turn over 77 cases to judiciary office. And data comparison of adverse events over the years, we can see from the 2012 to 2015, and the adverse events decreased very greatly, and decreased by 50%. But the penalties, interesting, the penalties grows by 100%. So we can see there's a safety master strengthens the supervision for all the manufacturers and the distributors in China, and they will put more the supervision on the med device, because the med device should be, this market should be healthier and healthier than before. But anyway, just to do yourself better and to do everything properly and do everything legally, then I think this one is not a case. Standards insurance data, and safety implemented 130 standards for med device in 2015 and released 93 industry standards. And we conclude the 4 types of the standards here. Like the general med device standards occupy the most, and the second is IVD standards, and the third is implantable med device, and the last is stereo med device. Guidance issues, and safety released 6 guidance and 31 explosive draft. And also I have told the most very important one is the technical guidance for clinical evaluation of med device. And in this guidance, safety told 3 methods for to do the clinical trial, because clinical trial really be a big problem for the overseas companies after the new regulations is coming to force. So, and the 3 methods, well, the first is if your med device is listed in the clinical trial exemption catalog. This catalog is what was released by the safety, and if your product was meets the catalog, and then you don't need to do clinical trial in China. Otherwise, if your product is not listed in this catalog, then you have 2 choices. One choice, you do the clinical trial, and the second choice, you apply for the clinical evaluation, and in this evaluation, you should state state the proof of why your products could be exempted from clinical trial. You should add the papers and add the clinical trial data of your similar products, and also you can add the clinical trial data from your local country. Just anything you using it should be approved to be exempted from clinical trial. You can do it. If you success, then it will save you a lot of money and save you a lot of time. However, if you fail, then it will extend your registration time, because before you know whether you can be exempted from clinical trial by clinical evaluation materials, you have to do the submission first, and it will take at least half a year for the safety experts to tell whether your products should do the clinical trial or not. And the second part is close reading of med device regulations. And there is 6 main regulations. One, naming rules and the administrative provisions for appointed inspection for med device, and the supplier review guidance for med device manufacturing, the guidance for med device GMP, the GSP, sorry, And the fifth is the administrative measures for med device adverse events monitoring and re-evaluation, and the last is an administrative measure for the supervision of med device use. And on the December 27, 23, the CFD issued the naming rules, and actually this one, I mean the chapter of this one was released on the 2014, and this final one almost same with the chapter, and then there's not very just a little change, and not important change. And those rules indicate that products sold or used in China should use the same generic name. The generic name is very important terminology, and I will share what is the generic name. And the naming rule does not apply to the IVDs. The common name, also we say it's a generic name, equals to one core word plus less than 3 feature words. The core word is a summary description of medical device with the same or similar technicals, constructions, or intended uses. The feature word is an illustration of features of construction or technicals of the device, applied parts of human body, or composition of materials. And when you start to name your products, you cannot to contain the following content. You cannot contain the type and specification, cannot contain the graphics and symbols, and cannot contain the personal names, trade name, and can not contain the absolute and exactive words such as best, unique, accurate, quick acting, or other word which can avert or guarantee the efficiency of the device. You can not contain the words which illustrate the effective and the accuracy of the device, and also cannot contain the hypothetic or without scientific proof of the clinical evaluation. Also cannot contain the like the you can kill like cannot contain the sentence to indicate you this product can cure every disease or can cure all the disease people have, and cannot contain the advertising words like health and beauty and other words forbidden by laws or regulations. And this regulation is to upon the inspection for med device registration. And in these regulations, you can find the products done within the inspection range of any qualified med device inspection institution when they conduct the registration inspection. So this regulation will tell you how to do the testing just one step by one step. And first, you should communicate with the inspection center and know the inspection ability of the testing center. And secondly, you should submit the product technical requirements to the inspection center, and then the center will conduct evaluation for the documents to determine whether they have the ability to test your product. And third, you should submit upon the inspection application to the corresponding department with the relevant documents. And last, just rely on notice to conduct the registration inspection. Here's a very interesting question. How if there is no inspection centers has the ability to conduct the registration? In China, there are total 26 testing centers now, and they are qualified to provide the testing service. So, if your product cannot be tested by these 26 testing centers, so then what do you have to do? The answer is you can appoint the National Institutes for Food and Drug Control or the Medical Device Inspection Institution, which affiliate Standardization Technical Committee of the Medical Device and Inspection Institution. So you can find this organization to help do the testing. And the third one, if you are a manufacturer, you have to concern about these regulations. It's to tell you how to do the review of your suppliers. And these regulations clearly to stipulates that med device manufacturer should set up the supplier review system to examine and verify the suppliers to ensure the purchased materials can meet the requirements of production. And this regulation was come into force on the January 19 of 2015. And the review principle, like the sort management, the manufacturing should center on the quality of the purchased materials and combine with the affection of product to conduct sort management for purchased materials and suppliers. And quality, compliance, and purchased materials should meet the quality requirements stipulated by manufacturing, which cannot less than the state mandatory standards and should meet the release of laws and regulations. The review process: first do the admittance requirements formulation and then do the review and process review and the evaluation management. And here, just to give the to special purchase materials review, if there are requirements for cleanings and manufacturing should require suppliers to provide the supporting documents of cleanliness level of the production condition and conduct on-site inspection. For animal-derived raw materials, manufacturing should review the relevant qualification, animal quarantine certificate, animal epidemic prevention certificate, and so on. If it is necessary, manufacturing should conduct extension evaluation for breeding, the condition, feed, storage, and transport, and causative the agent controlling the situation. And for allergenic, the supplier of the raw materials, manufacturing should review the estimates and verification or ethics committees, the validation profile, volunteers, donate books, and technical requirements for donor screening. As for the providing the sterilization service, supplier manufacturers should review their qualification and operation um, capabilities and conduct on-site inspection. And for providing the measures and cleaning, transportation, and other service suppliers, manufacturer should review their qualification and operation capability and conduct on-site inspection. And the fourth is guidance for do the on-site GSP inspection, and it's applicable for the distributors of to sell the Class 3 med device, and for the distributors who sell the Class 2 med device, and for all kinds of supervision and inspection for med device distributors. And distributor can determine the reasonable lag clause according to the business mode, business scope, and line of business. Then submit a written document to inspecting the group to conduct the formative by inspection group. And here's a table just to for the distributor to use when they do such a inspection. Like just for example, for Class 3 med device distributor, and you should to do inspection, and the result like pass, fail, and make rectification within a certain time limit. And you should do the inspection according to the criterion based on this guidance. And the fifth is the administrative measures of med device is for the adverse events monitoring. And this one is to strengthen the supervision and the management of post-market med device and standardize the adverse events monitoring and re-evaluation to control the risk and protect the safety of public device. And this one was issued on the mid of October in 2015. And these principal bodies for any citizen, league person, and other organizations all med device activities within the People's Republic of China. And first, you should report the suspicious events and to check the authenticity and the integrity and accuracy, and then do the analysis and evaluate, and then do the re-evaluate. Allows it to control and to find control measures. And the report period may total may like the 65 business days and to just like 3 months. The last is a regulation for to use the med device, and serious injuring of patients caused by med device user while they're ignoring the maintenance in actual activities happen in certain years. That's the new version regulations for the use how to use the med device and add the items med device. User supervision state clear about the obligation of safety management of med device, and med device users have to establish system for the purchase inspection recording. And Food and Drug Supervision departments carry out the supervision and inspection of medical device user unit for establishing and implementing the quality management system. And moreover, they will put the strength on enterprise which use a higher risk medical device. The related manufacturer and distributor will be the inspected extended, and then province level FDA will punish the med device quality announcement. Med device user unit have be asked to carry out the self-inspection of their quality management system. And the third part is a breaking news study of the China Med in 2015. And in this part, we got three very just very um, breaking news. Okay, one is the administration fees on med device registration, and the second is the clinical trial data event. It's a fake event, and the third is a flight inspection. So they issued the rules for the implementation administration fees on the med device registration from the May 27 and 2015. And actually, in 2009, this registration was cancelled, but now it still started in 2015 because so they really to get more and more review work just during this 5 years. So just to help to work better, and they have to re-release this registration fee. And we can have the unit is 10,000 yuan, and we can see how they cost. And for import, this table is for the imported med device, and for imported Class 2 med device, the initial registration will cost this one like the $30,000, and the change registration should take the $7,000, and the renew should also take $7,000. For imported Class 3 med device, the initial registration will take the $50,000, and the change will take the $8,000. So it's kind of expensive, especially for some Asian for some med device comes from the Asian countries, like from Korea, from the Japanese, from the Saudi Arabia, and this space really is a bit, kind of expensive to these countries. And for domestic med device, the cost is half of the imported med device. And for domestic Class 2 med device, they are charged by the local provincial FDA. And for now, there only Shanghai, Fujian, and Jiangxi had started to charge this registration fee, and the fee also is half of the imported med device. But for a lot of the Chinese manufacturing, this fee will also be a kind of expensive. So just since this registration fee start to be charged, and I think it's added financial barrier to all the companies who would like to apply for safety registration. But I think this phase could help the market to be healthier. Okay, the second is the clinical trial data's fake events, and this is a very big events. It's the most strict drug clinical trial data verification in history. We are doing the med device, but this is event is really very serious. So we also to very care this events, and we would like to share it here. And there are a total 1,600 products were inspected about clinical trial data, and we can see during the 1,600 products, there were 1,150 drug registration applications were cancelled in only 5 months, and the ratio is about 70% in the whole 600 products. This is really a very serious because drug registration. I think you must know drug registration is much expensive. It should be much expensive than the medical registration, and a drug registration has taken at least 5 years to complete the registration. And we can just imagine if your company and had conducted a 5 years clinical trial, and you even will get the registration certificate by next year. However, CFD and told you your clinical trial data conducted by your CRO was fake and it's false. So how will feel? I think it must be very unaccepted and very terrible, and because it means your company maybe will close down, and just you will lose your job and lose a lot so much money. So, and we can see the related announcement. It goes very frequently from the July and to the November, and in this 5 months, and they carried the four inspections of the clinical trial data all of the China, and they withdraw a lot of the registration applications, and they from the October to the December, and so we got so many, and we can say sorry to these companies who are being withdrawn. So we're back to our med device. So will this drug inspection affect the med device industry? In our opinions, it must affect med device industry because when so many drugs were cancelled by FDA and because of their false clinical trial data, and these companies to survive in the healthcare market, they have to transfer their strategic like from the drug to med device, because med device cost much less, and it costs much less time and money than the drug. So also the clinical trial fake events will make people to be very serious about the fake data, and a lot of the CRO were punished and get a big penalty. So all of this will to make the med device registration be much healthier and be more legal than before. And the third is flight inspection. In order to strengthen the med device supervision and inspection, and to strengthen the risk prevention and the security control, and the CFD will formulate the administrative measure for med device flight inspection, and it comes from from the June and to January in 2016. We can see in 2015 the CFD started the flight inspection on the September, and then the Zhejiang province and the Jiangsu province also follow the CFD, and the Guangdong, Sichuan, and Taizhou, and also Zhejiang do the second time, third time, and so I think this flight inspection is the first time for safety to such activity, and this activity will really just indeed to improve the medical device to be healthier. So the registration fee and the flight inspection and the clinical trial fake data, all these three breaking news and can tell us in the future the supervision of the med device will be stronger and stronger. So this will make the poor manufacturing and poor distributors out of this market, and to make advanced companies to be more can make more profit in if you do good, then you can earn much. And last, we just to see what will be the points of my device in 2016, and we think there will be several things that need to be focused. One is the new version of the ISO 3485, and also the registration fee for other provinces will be released, and the domestic GMP and overseas GMP, and more flight inspection will be carried out, and the more standards and more guidance will be released by CFDA, and to all of these activities will make ever the domestic companies and overseas companies to know better of the China med device regulations, and just make everything better, and people can just to be easy to go into China market, and to even to manufacturing or to sell your med device in China. Okay, that's all for it. So I hope you would be just to be enjoyable in this presentation. And as I told before, if you would like to download this presentation, you can find it in your handouts panel. And for any other questions, you can send us email or just leave your message in the dashboard. And I thank you very much for your attending. Let's see you next time. Bye bye.